Good evening. We're here to talk a little bit today about the seriousness of bullying. Town Hall 10s walk around here feeling, and thinking as though they're the bee's knees when it comes to woo. Guys, these 11s are feeling as though their bases just aren't ready for these 10s, these ByeForever 10s, and their attacks on them are just guys, I'm sorry, I can't keep a straight face. We actually had a fantastic hit today in the ByeForever versus Power CoC war. Wow, Power CoC absolutely came out swinging. I can't say, words can't describe how well they started. Like we did a live stream coverage of the opening of this war, the first 6 hours, and Power CoC opened up with like 3 10v10 triples. I think they even got an 11v11 within the opening or something. It was nuts, guys. These guys really came out swinging. They hit the ground running and did a great job. We just, we did go perfect on dips, and it came down to the wire. Within the last 20 seconds of war, ByeForever was able to pull it off by 1 star. Had it come down to percent, like had we were kind of thinking it might have, we would not have gotten this victory. I think Power CoC actually had us by like 2%, but luckily Topher, what up man, shout out, came through. He came in, logged in within the last like 20 seconds, was able to execute, and then put that green line in our war log. So today we're gonna be discussing some savage 10v11 attacks. We had one guy, the man, the myth, the legend, guys, Lou. He comes in with a 71%. Guys, 71% 10v11. That's insane. Insane. Post meta too, or post update, excuse me. What? And we also had 2 more attempts, or 2 more 10v11s that were plus 60%, which we're also going to show too. So bullying 10v11s is it's nuts, man. And then the 71% that he did, he actually ran a lot of giants too. I can't quite say a mass giant attack necessarily, but I feel like anytime you run 12 or more giants, I feel like that's pretty close to being a mass giant attack at the 10v11 level. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into some of these statistics. We did get the victory as shown, as I said before. It's 112 to 111. You'll see up the statistics above me. Power CoC didn't use one of their attacks, which was a Town Hall 9, so it really wouldn't have made a difference in this war, especially with the amount of 10s and 11s that Power CoC cleared. That was just a 9. I'm just kidding, 9s. I still love you guys. And the breakdown was a 6-18-16. While I'm reading off these statistics for this war, guys, we had Cascazilla, aka Thief, the man, the myth, the legend, former leader of the Immortal Thieves, now with the ByeForever family, pulled a fantastic 10v10 attack. So I'm going to go ahead and showcase this in the background while I'm reading off the statistics for this war and some of the percentages to kind of give you an idea on how it went down. Just notice, guys, on the side here, this insane queen charge he does. He gets like 3 layers broken, and then before he starts to lalo, it's nuts, man. You can tell those guys that are just genuinely, just naturally good at the game. That's my boy Thief here. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit play while I read off some of these statistics. With ByeForever pulling off the victory at 112, we actually did not make any 11v11 attempts, whereas Power CoC were actually successful in 2 out of their 3 11v11 attempts, and one of those was actually at the very end of war with like the last minute left. It had us all on our toes. We were like, oh no, they were able to successfully get that 11v11, and that means Topher, where are you at? This man was not in the chat anywhere, but he pulled through. 11v10, the dips. This is what got us that green line. This is what made us victorious this war. Our 11s. So special shout out to our 11s. They went perfect, 12 for 12, 100% dip rate. So nicely done there. Very, very needed. And then Power CoC, unfortunately, they had 1 dip fail. They went 8 for 9. They went 8 for 9, which is at 89% hit rate. And I feel bad celebrating a dip fail, but at the same time, hey, it got us that win. Luckily, it got us that win. So 10v11, guys. I'm really proud of our 10s this war, guys. 10v11, we went 6 for 12. That's a 50% 10v11 hit rate. That's nuts, guys. I believe 3 of those 10v11s are actually fresh, 3 or 4 of them. I'll take a look later. And yeah, having 2 of which were plus 60% and then 1 at 71%. It's insane. Power CoC, where it wasn't quite as lucky, they went 3 for 8. Yes, they did have 4 less attempts because they were throwing more 10s at the 10v10 side of it. And then moving into that, we actually we went 4 for 22, which isn't really, honestly, 4 for 22 is really not terrible. Was at an 18% hit rate, which is I would say pre-update that's about average. Going 4 for 6 before the update dropped, I feel like that was like an average war, and at this level, so I can't be too salty. I will say that my attacks this war were not the greatest. I didn't get to drop that 10v10 like I was hoping, but you can't get one every war. But it was close though. It was close. So shout out to our 10s for pulling those off. And then Power CoC just coming out swinging. They got like 3 of those 10v10s on stream at the opening. 6 for 28. Guys, that's a 21% hit rate. That's insane. So nicely done. Special shout out, like I said before, Power CoC was just killing it. Loved those attacks. And then like I said, it came down to that last dip to our boy Topher being able to pull it off. So without further ado, we're gonna go ahead and dive into those 10v11 bullies, especially opening up with that 71%. So let's go ahead and get straight into it, dudes. Perfect timing too, as Fief's attack comes in for a close at that 3-star right there. We're gonna go ahead and open up Lou's attack, which was on their number 4 Nexus. Now guys, before you say anything, this base is actually attempted on like 4 or 5 times. Bearing in mind we had a 50% hit rate, so most of those extra attacks were utilized on this base. And for him to come out and pull off this type of percentage on it is just fantastic. Alright, so as you can see, he goes ahead and opens up. He utilizes 3, he utilizes that queen and a couple, he holds on to those 3 healers there and allows her to start picking up some of this garbage, as well as that Tesla between the 10 and 12 o'clock. He doesn't have, notice guys, he doesn't have any wall breakers on him. He's hoping for the queen to go ahead and start cutting through it herself, in which case he's going to go ahead and utilize a rage spell to help take out some CC. There it is. He actually utilizes that the rage and the phase ability as well, because he did kind of stutter there for a second. I've done it myself too. You're like, oh no! You go ahead and just hit that phase just to make sure she doesn't go down, because if this walk right here fails, that's ripped the attack. So he goes ahead and activates it underneath the rage, which is perfect. That's fine. She goes ahead and locks eyes with that wall while that cannon is shooting at her. Those healers are keeping her running. Boom. She pulls the enemy CC. It's squishy. Got Valkyrie, Baby Dragon, and a couple witches coming in. He drops those dub poisons as well as a rage spell over her, so that way she can easily clear him. And then we're going to see the main force kicking in here shortly. Alright, he goes ahead and trickles in a Valkyrie up by the 1130 to help take out that mortar. And add some added percent, you know. He gets a mortar as well as a spell factory. And I don't think he picks up the army camp, but still, that's about 2% right there that he would have had before. And he goes ahead and just, look at all those giants, guys. What? What? He's got, what's that, 12 giants coming in. Utilizes the jump spell just to get them straight into the base. And here they go, guys. They're off. They go ahead and just start strolling through the base with ease, like they own the place. Look at these guys. The giant bomb triggers underneath the bowlers there, and they do take quite a bit of damage. However, we're going to see the queen goes down, and those healers actually path over to him and start kind of healing him up a little bit. Luckily, he's got that sweeper there to help kind of push the healers to safety as they make their way over to those bowlers. And the giants continue to stroll through the base as he starts to continue bullying it. And plenty of bowlers on standby behind them. I believe this attack actually comes down to time. Look how much of the base has been wrecked so far. Guys, look at how much of the base is destroyed. Picking up at about 71% right here. He actually has the bowler bounce, able to grab that barracks behind. Drops the archer tower, and then he runs out of time. Is the biggest thing here. Granted, he probably even if it didn't come down to time, it probably wouldn't have been a whole lot more percent. But guys, just look what's left. I mean, that's close to it, a 10v11 triple. That's insane, guys. Special shout out Lou, champion of bullies. 12 giants, 18 bowlers. I mean, it's insane. He throws that barbarian in there. Oh man. All right, so without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into these other two plus 60% hits. 65% Zach comes in on Ferrum's base with one of those Valkyrie dives. This is what we've been seeing quite a bit lately in a lot of these 10v11 attempts are these Valkyries. All you got to do really is establish a funnel, throw that jump spell into the core, throw a rage down and let him go. So it goes ahead and drops the golem. Archer Queen up by the 2. Sui route, not actually quite aiming for the Queen necessarily. Open a path down, take out this compartment and some of this trash on the outside just to make sure that those Valkyries don't get pulled. Especially with the jump spell being over the air sweepers here in the core. He's really not too worried about the bomb tower or any of that nonsense. He just wants to make sure the Valkyries know where they're supposed to be going, and that's right there, the jump spell over the Queen pad. As you can see it being dropped there. Boom. So Queen ultimately got her mission accomplished. No, she's not able to take the king out over by the 3. That's fine. He goes ahead and rages some bowlers in over at the 10, 11 o'clock, and then just gets the horde of Valkyries just diving in right there. Doesn't even need a wall breaker. They just rip apart the opening 12 portion of the space, and then they easily take that jump spell. He does get a couple over on that Wizzy at the 10-11, but that's fine. They go ahead, majority still take the jump, and they dive straight into the town hall. As you can see, hence the name Valkyrie dive. They didn't actually end up taking the enemy CC too. You can see a baby dragon is still left standing, and that's fine. I mean, at this point, I mean, the base is wrecked. 65%, guys. That's insane. That's nuts. These Valkyrie dives are just so OP right now. I love it. I love seeing it coming from our boys. And then, of course, the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Joey, the leader of ByeForever. Guys, I feel like he's in so many of my videos now because he keeps putting up these fantastic attacks at the 10v11 level, all of which are above the 60% mark, and just continues to lead from the front, man. Nicely executed, nicely done. And opens up with those loons at the opening and tag those archer towers, allowing for those minions to come in and start picking up some added percentage. And it's also going to be a Valkyrie dive. He runs in with 18 Valkyries. He's got 8 wall breakers, a jump, 3 rage, a heal, and a quake just for some little bit of added destruction, making it easier for those Valkyries to get in there and rip apart the core of the space. So as the minions continue to start picking up some percent, helping to establish the funnel, he goes, it's patience, just letting them work, letting the attack develop. He rages his king and bowlers in up by the 12:30. They're easily able to clear both of those Wizzy towers, and he actually rages some wall breakers in. They open it up, boom, allowing the giant bowlers, to cut into the base. Pulls the CC, drops the poison, squishy again, a couple of witches and a baby dragon, and then just easily carving out that funnel there as he makes his way toward the sweep. And yeah, so well done. Queen is down at by the 9. He drops the golem. Eagle artillery locks eyes with it. Starts hammering away at the golem. He goes in and drops the initial test wall breaker as well as the rest of them, but they get tagged by a Tesla and ends up being a wall breaker fail. But you know what? No problem. He goes ahead and just triples in those Valkyries with a 3-finger drop and lets them go ham on the space. Makes their own hole through that wall. Underneath the rage spell, drops the jump and another rage leading into the town hall, into the core here, and just look at him just ripping this space apart. Wow. He's got a couple on the outside here by the king pad as well, picking up some added percentage. And then giant bombs being triggered, defenses getting floored. Nicely done, nicely executed. Looks like he was able to clear a good amount of this base right here, guys. 62% is insane. Absolutely. So special shout out my boy Joe over here. Fantastic work. Nicely done. All right, dudes. So, you guys can see now the seriousness of bullying, guys. If you haven't already, make sure you guys follow me over at twitch.tv/Scottoria, guys. You can see some live ByeForever wars being covered, as well as the various clans within the ByeForever family. We've got 6 clans, 3 of which actually just got announced, made the list for CWL. We got ByeForever and Invite, VM over in Premiere, and then Code Enigma and Rising. So if you're interested in being a part of the ByeForever family and get within this hardcore war scene and start putting up some sexy attacks and maybe get some here on some YouTube coverage as well. Just look in the description. I'm gonna have the recruitment server for the ByeForever family just right there for the Discord link, and make sure you click on it. You'll join. You'll get your interview, get your tryout, and hey, maybe soon I'll be calling you family, making some videos on you. And then if you haven't already, make sure you guys follow me over at ClashScottoria on Twitter. You can see whenever I go live, whenever I drop some new videos, or just random goat pictures, or who knows what else I put out. And then follow me, and of course, if you haven't already, make sure you guys click that sub button here on YouTube if you enjoy the content I'm putting out. And then join my Discord server, my personal one, discord.gg/thekillsquad. You can always just type in the Kill Squad in the little search bar, and join. Just hit me up. I'm always down to bounce around ideas for Clash videos or metas or who knows what. Some of the conversations that I see going on in that server just kind of, yeah, they're awesome. You guys are the best. So without further ado, man, appreciate you guys for tuning in, and I'll see you again very, very soon.